Okay, so let's briefly just go through what an MBSR is. So an MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction, was developed in the late 70s by John Kabat-Zinn. He was a doctor at Massachusetts Hospital, and he was into meditation and he came from the East, but he had, the hospital came to him and said, we have this group of people that we can't do anything for medically. They have some kind of chronic illness or pain, and we can't help them medically. Can you do some research into how we can help them? And so he developed this in the basement of the hospital, actually. He had groups of people down there. And he called it mindfulness-based stress reduction because he couldn't call it mindfulness or meditations in those days. And so it has become a standardized 8-week course, and all the research, I would say, not all, but the majority of all the research you see done on mindfulness has been done based on this MBSR, because it's such a standardized, it takes 8 weeks, it's 2 hours or 2.5 sometimes also, and it follows the same meditations and content. Mm-hmm. So that's why there's so much research that's been done on it, and yeah, you can just Google it. It helps for lots of things. So it's over 8 weeks, and the reason why is because of the importance of practice, because the magic happens in between the sessions. You can easily come here and listen to me talk and practice together, but if you really want to make a difference and become aware of your personal patterns, you have to practice at home. So we recommend between 30 to 40 minutes a day for the 8 weeks. It sounds like a lot, but it's both formal and informal. And the difference is the formal is saying, right, I'm sitting on a mat now, meditating for the next 20 minutes. That's the formal part. But the informal is more also things that I suggest you do bring into your everyday life. Like the pause practice can be in between, depending on how long you make it, of course. But it can also be things like picking a routine activity, like brushing your teeth. How does it feel to brush your teeth? Instead of just having your mind somewhere else. So you incorporate it into your everyday life as well. So that's what we recommend. I provide, you get audios with my voice and also my teacher's voice. You've got a bit to choose from. Various lengths also. So if there is one day you can't do it, I would say it's better to do like 10 minutes each day than do a marathon on the Saturday. It's better to spread it out because so the more you do, the more you get out of it. That's the message, really. And so the schedule here is, these are the weeks. The first one is very much about what is mindfulness. We'll talk about autopilot and investigate that, mindful eating, and how to get into the body whenever the mind goes off. And so practice a lot of what we've done today. Then 3 and 4 is about stress, becoming aware of our stress patterns, because I think mindfulness is a way of rebelling against the way we have been evolved, because the way that our brains have developed is not the best way of living a healthy life. Like the way we have evolved is, our brain's main aim is to stay alive and get our genes into the next gene pool. Whether we're happy while we're here, it doesn't matter to the brain. So we have to sort of rebel a little bit against that once we know it, and that's what we get to know. So very much about how to deal with stress and learning to, there's 4-step to awareness meditation we're going to do here. These first ones is very much about focusing. Then we become, it becomes easier for us to sit longer and to keep our focus. We're starting to go into this 4-step to awareness is about opening up and allowing in also the unpleasant things that's in life. So practicing also talking about acceptance instead of pushing away. Then we talk about thoughts and emotions, these two ones, and how they really go together very much, but how we can start to diffuse or unhook from these thoughts. And then we have a whole session, week 7, on self-compassion, because we need that. And then finally, we're looking ahead and saying, okay, this is just the beginning, right? Doesn't mean we are expert at the end of the 8 weeks. So how can we choose, how do we want, what do we want to take out of this course and continue to do? And so we talk about how to bring that into our lives looking ahead. There are some more things I should tell you. I'll just have a few points here. Risks, right? Is it risky to do mindfulness? There is a risk because we are so used to not wanting everything that's unpleasant that we push it away. So all of a sudden, a lot of my students come to me and say, is it normal that I feel more stressed now that I'm doing a stress reduction course, that I have more difficult emotions and more thoughts in the beginning of the course? Yes, because they're not pushing them away. They're actually inviting them in. That's what we're practicing. So there is a risk in the way that we can bring up things that we have been subconsciously putting away. So that's why it's very important for me that I have a psychology background, but I'm not a clinical psychology, and mindfulness is not therapy. So it's important for me to know that you're safe. So if something like that comes up, that you can come to me and tell me about it, and that we have a plan for who you can go to and get some help with it. Because mindfulness is not a panacea. There are things that it cannot do. Sometimes we need some other professional help as well, or just our closed ones that we can turn to. So if you feel that, or are worried that there's something that you need to talk to me about, please take a card over there, or come to me at the end, and we'll set up a one-to-one talk before and see if you want to talk about something.
It reminds me the Marie Kondo method, where you just take all the clothes, put in a place. I think that should be that stage where you really feel stressed because you bring all emotions in front of you.
Yeah.
But then you start to fold the clothes and...
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. I guess so. But having said that, it's not so each session. It's going to be a mix between me talking and me guiding you through it, and also getting you to do some exercises. You can go through the whole course without having to participate. You don't have to say anything. I will ask you after our meditation, so how was that? And encourage you to come up and say, but what we will not discuss the reasons why. So this happened in my childhood or whatever. That will not happen. But a lot of the things that comes up are people saying, I found it really hard to concentrate, or my legs started to sleep. So it's very physical things, and they're struggling with it. And as a group, that's why the MBSR works so well, I find, because usually, as you said, after a while, it becomes a safe space, and you connect with the people around you, and you feel it's okay to talk about it. But you don't have to. If you don't want to say anything, that's completely fine, and you can still, because there's a lot of things going on inside of each person that I don't know about, and sometimes I've had really quiet participants, and in the end they come up with this feedback, and I go, oh my God, they really got so much out of it, where I thought maybe they were just a bit reluctant all the time. So if that's the way you are as a person, that's fine too. So.
What happens like if we miss some part of it? I'm not sure if we can do all 8 weeks.
Yeah. Right, yes, good question. Yes, we might be in quarantine.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Well, if we can't meet, we can still meet virtually.
Yeah.
So I have done that.
Also.
It's not as good,
Yeah.
but we can do that. And if that happens, then we'll maybe just have a virtual meeting and decide whether we postpone the rest of it or we will continue to do it virtually. If one of you cannot come to the sessions, I actually have I've recorded just the gist of the didactic part of the teaching. So I can send you those videos to you and you can sort of keep up with that. And you also get a participant manual. I'm not printing it out because it's that thick, so it's a lot of paper. So I'm just sending it to you electronically, and it's sort of, the idea is not for you to have homework and prepare for the next session, because I actually prefer you come unprepared, as in just get the raw sensation of it and without using your head, but experiencing it. But it's something you can go back to later on and see, right, that's what we talked about. And also I'm gonna make a forum. So every time, each session, I send out a little a post just with in bullet forms, this is what we talked about, and maybe sometimes also a link to some more information if you want to watch a video or something else that's related to that theme of the week. Yeah. That's a lot to take in.